I'm at Hendon Central and I'm just lining up a shot. Two gentlemen sitting on a fence? What am I talking about? Well, first thing I'll do is get over there and look south along Watford Way towards Hendon Central Station. Now, where's that old photo? Here we go. I find this shot quite unbelievable. It dates from just before 1910, but that bend is where Hendon Central Circus is going to go. Hendon Central Circus was eventually built on the bend on a tiny road once called Butcher's Lane. Butcher's Lane led south from the Burrows, turned a corner to head east and ended at Brent Street. I'll mix in a melange of modern map and turn of the century Ordnance survey to show where this photo was taken from. Finally, here's the 1897 Ordnance survey on its own, showing an incredibly rural Hendon. Not a lot changed for a few years, but sometime before the First World War, the landowner, Audley Dallas Neild, built a new road from the bend in Butcher's Lane to link Brent Street with Hendon Station on the Midland Railway. Vivian Avenue got its name because Vivian was the maiden name of Audley's wife Edith. Let's see a modern view from the location of another old photo. Here we're looking east from Vivian Avenue towards Hendon Central Station. In 1921, a photo was taken from this very spot. I've marked it on the old map ingeniously as photo 2. But before I show it to you, the old photo will show Butcher's Lane running ahead and also running left at the bend in the road. Gotters Hedge Lane will lead south from in front of the photographer's position. Here's the photo. We are looking from the very eastern end of Vivian Avenue. The sign at the top of Gotters Hedge Lane already shows both the names Hendon Way and Gotters Hedge Lane, although it's a bit difficult to see in this grainy shot. The car in the photo is parked exactly in front of the future site of Hendon Central Station. Because the area was undeveloped, this allowed an unusual degree of coordination between new roads and new railway. In the 1820s, the Finchley Road had been built. This bypassed the steep hills and congestion of Hampstead. Nearly a century later, congested Finchley Road needed its own bypass. Thus, Hendon Way and Watford Way were planned and built. A series of other arterial roads, including the nearby North Circular Road, were laid out throughout London, partly to provide work fit for heroes. Men returning from the front in the First World War needed work, and road building was one of the solutions. At the same time, motor traffic was expanding anyway. The new Hendon Way and the new Watford Way met each other at Hendon Central in 1924. Hendon Way was built along the route of the old Gotters Hedge Lane, and Watford Way continued north along the line of Butcher's Lane, eventually to Five Ways Corner, where the new A41 and A1 met. And here is a photo of Five Ways Corner in 1927. It doesn't quite look like this now, especially with a flyover overhead. At the same time as the new roads were built, the Northern Line headed north from its old terminus at Golders Green. Hendon Central Station opened in 1923, a year before the new roads opened. It stood in lonely glory amidst fields, as one local writer put it. The following year, all the noisy traffic arrived, consigning the lonely glory to history. Right, I'm going to start my walk now, and we'll get to the entrance of a fine 1920s municipal park called Hendon Park. So this is a River Brent, after which Brent Cross is named, and the poor little river is in a concrete viaduct going through the area. If I just wander the other way, you'll see the true horror of the Brent Cross flyover and the way across to Brent Cross station, which I've now got to navigate. So this is the pedestrian route across the Brent and over the junction to the station. It's not the nicest tube walk I've ever done. Well, it was in the park section, so this bit is a bit grim. It would very much appear like we've arrived at our destination. So, I'll see you on the next walk.